Hey everybody, it's Mike, and it is Monday, October 5th, and the market is actually up. The futures are actually up about 0.5%, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq is up almost 0.75%. So everything's looking good. It's about, I don't know, 3:45 a.m. So anything can happen in the future markets between now and the actual open. But I think overall, this is a pretty good sign considering just probably the craziest 72 hours that you could probably have in probably one of the craziest years ever, where we had Friday morning, early Friday morning, where President Trump announced he was positive for the COVID virus. And I was expecting the markets on Fridays to plunge, have like a mini crash down 3%. And we were only down 1%. And then after market close around 5, Trump went into the Walter Reed. And he's been in the hospital ever since. And they say he's getting better and he's going to be discharged on Monday. So I think that's why the market is pointing up. However, I'm not too optimistic about that because, look, President Trump, he's 74 years old. He is obese. He is in that elderly range where COVID hits people hard. He is a male, which males are disproportionately hurt by COVID. So I think he's trying to rush himself out of the hospital because it'll look better. But I think at someone his age, he may end up going back to the hospital. I've taking care of parents at that age. And when you go into the hospital when you're 74, it's never like you pop in for a weekend and you're out and you're doing 100% okay. There's going to be a lot of care that he's going to have right up and through the election. So that means he could have a downturn in his health at any time, and that could cause just unexpected havoc on the market. So I would express a lot of caution at the moment. I personally still have some cash secured puts, but that's about it. I'm going to keep the rest of the cash that I have on the sidelines. I'm not popping into anything. The S&P 500 is still below the 50-day moving average, so you do want to express caution there because there is no support really in the S&P 500 right now. It could drop all the way down to the 200-day moving average, which is about 10% from where it is right now. But the one thing I also want to note that gold was kind of flat on Friday, and it's down in the pre-market. It's down about 2%. So that's actually a good sign for the stock market, at least for today. But like I said, the bottom could drop out on the market at any time if there's any change. The market is pretty much pricing in that Trump is going to fully recover from COVID. And the odds are he is going to fully recover, but it may not be a straight line to full recovery. He may have to end up going back to the hospital. Any little things, like if he's just like short of breath or they got to put him on oxygen, that's going to be a big negative for the market. So you're going to watch out for that. And before I go into the story of the day, be sure if you can just like this video because it'll really help me out with the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I want to talk about this stock, Nano-X Imaging. In a day where the market was down, the stock was up 56%. And this is one stock that a lot of people have been talking about, but recently the stock had been moving down, just downward, 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 and that just popped. And as you can see, it had this peak here on September 11th at around 64. It's at 34. The reason why the stock popped was because it was able to get a live demonstration or a promise of a live demonstration of its portable imaging system. And this portable imaging system is like a disruptive technology. This is something that can really lower the price of imaging. It's portable, so it could be taken really like deployed in like third world countries. It's just it's a big game changer in the healthcare industry. So this is a company, if you're looking for that like next Tesla or a Tesla in the healthcare industry, Nano-X Imaging is definitely one of those companies. But you also have to realize that before you jump in, the stock has jumped 56%. After market closed on Friday, it was down 4%. So who knows how it's going to open today. But usually when you see these big pops, they tend to retrace, like the stock will tend to retrace like 50% of the pop. So it came out on, it was at 24 the day before its pop. It's at 37. So that's 17 points. So you may want to let it drop to like below the 30 level before you look about, buying in. And I definitely would not buy in this week because of all the uncertainty in the markets, and a fast rising stock like this, if there's a big downturn in the market, it's just going to suffer immensely. So just be very careful with Nano-X Imaging. But put it on your radar, because if it falls below 30, put in an alert or something, or even just put in a bid below 30, then you could grab that stock, because I think this is definitely a stock that it's a market cap at 1.6. It could be 10 times that amount if their imaging system becomes deployed around the world, and I think there's a big potential for that. So you definitely would put NNOX on your radar. So I just want to talk about my positions. If you watch my videos, you know I'm big into GameStop. GameStop was down. It's been sliding down really for the past 5 days from its peak at 1056 to 939, but I'm not worried. I put in a cash secure put at the 9.5 strike. So right now it's below the 9.5 strike at 9.39. I was able to sell the contracts at about 53 cents, so my break even is 8.97. However, usually when you have a big slide like this, you get a bit of a bounce, and this happened to me when I did a weekly cash secure put on GameStop last week, where it went all the way down to like 8.75, but it popped, and it popped to the point where I was able to take a profit, and I didn't have the shares put to me. If Trump ends up going back into Walter Reed after being discharged, presumably Monday, GameStop will fall again, but it'll fall because of general stock market movements, not because of anything wrong with the stock itself. So I don't mind having the shares put towards me. And this is a company that has a lot of cash. It actually has 800 million in cash, and its market cap is 600 million. So it literally has 200 million more in cash than its market capitalization, and its debt is only 500 million. So I'm feeling really good about this company. It's going to fourth quarter sales of the PS3 and Xbox. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Everything else, the EVs have been taking a hit the past couple of days, but I think that's just because they've risen so much. It's just going to get that pullback. You look at its pullback now, Tesla from 448 to 415. But if you're long, if you believe in the long-term prospects of Tesla, and you should be, then you should do what ARK Investment is doing and just see this as a buying opportunity, because Tesla, I think, is going to continue to do very well. It's going to come out with they're going to come out with a $25,000 car. That's going to be really key. That's going to be a big game changer for Tesla. And there's also been a lot of options action in Tesla. Someone bought like $36 million position on the Tesla 1000 contracts that expire 2 years from now. So someone's betting that Tesla's going to double and become an $800 billion company in 2 years. And it's kind of plausible. Look, if that $25,000 car comes out, it is definitely it's definitely possible that Tesla could hit that. And NIO is the Chinese automaker. You could consider it the Chinese Tesla. The big game changer for NIO here is that they're doing battery swaps instead of EV stations, and I think that's one advantage that they may have over Tesla if they're able to continue to pull off doing battery swaps, where you would drive into one of the NIO stations, and in 90 seconds they just swap out the battery. And so you go from having a car that has maybe little to no power in it to a fully charged vehicle in 90 seconds. And that's something that, especially if you live in a city and you don't have, if your time is very valuable, 90-second recharge versus a 20-minute recharge on a Tesla supercharger, that can make a big difference. So NIO is another stock you should look at. It has pulled back much like Tesla, but not as much. But look at that chart. That's a very beautiful chart. That's a 6-month chart right there. And the company is only worth 28 billion versus Tesla's 300 and something billion. And also NIO ships 20% of the cars that Tesla ships, yet it's 16 times smaller. So that's something also to keep in mind. But this is a great company to look at. And then finally, I just want to take a look at the precious metals a bit. The precious metals have kind of not been doing much of anything. They've been slowly sliding downward. But however, if we do get this chaos with the elections, with Trump's health, we're going to go into probably one of the most chaotic next 3 months, probably in American history. And when there is chaos in the market, gold is definitely something that you want to look at. So definitely keep an eye on gold. It will really have to pop probably above this 183 level before it can get that sort of upward momentum surge, but it is above the 50-day moving average. So that means if you want to buy now, that'll be fine because you do have some support there. So definitely take a look at it. But also bear in mind, gold is down in the pre-market on Monday, but I think that is going to change. So that is the update for today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll be coming out with market update videos before market opens every weekday, and on the weekends I do special reports. Okay, thank you very much.